What's popping on, guys and girls? It's 3Dimensions here, back with another video. And lately I've been playing a ton of Grand Theft Auto, and in general just the series. If there's such a thing as a binge watching alternative for playing video games, then I've been doing that with Grand Theft Auto during quarantine. And in fact, before that, I've also played like my fair share of games, but not to the extent I've been doing now. And I have, in fact, played all of them. All of these games I have played, for better or for worse. So, I decided that today I will rank them, and first of all, just give me a quick criteria for how I'm gonna rank them. I'm ranking them purely based on gameplay and story. So I don't care how revolutionary it was. I might comment on it, but I won't count it into the ranking. So let's get started. Grand Theft Auto Advance for the Game Boy Advance. Um, it is not good by any means. I did finish it recently on my Game Boy Advance emulator, and I did not know how to feel about it when I finished it. So the story is okay, I guess. GTA Advance, the story's okay, but everything else about it is shit. If you want to look up the story, look it up. If you want to download it, get an emulator, and it should be golden. So in my opinion, Grand Theft Auto Advance will belong on the D tier. It is a GTA game, and in my opinion, it was probably the best game on the one of the best games on the GBA. I started there a lot. Yeah, I think Advance belongs in the D tier purely because of the controls and the poor execution. Next, Chinatown Wars for the PSP, DS, and mobile devices. I like to see Chinatown in two different ways, and I'll comment on one, and I'll comment on the other one maybe a bit later. But Chinatown Wars is basically what GTA Advance should have been. It should have been a GTA for mobile devices, basically, and they, in my opinion, they did execute it really well for the DS and later for the PSP. Now, I did finish it twice, in fact. I did finish Chinatown twice on my PS Vita, which I emulated it on. I even have it on my PC with a PSP emulator. But yeah, Chinatown Wars, the story in my opinion is very good. It is also has a ton of replayability with many different vehicles to unlock, weapons, and most of all the drug dealing mechanic, which is in my opinion one of the greatest elements in any of those GTA games. In my opinion, Chinatown Wars has one of the best mechanics, which, just because the drug dealing, the story, and the great execution, I have to give it an A tier. The only reason I'm not giving it an S tier is it is a bit limited with the 500 megabytes of total usage that it could have had on the DS, and overall, just because it's top-down view, it just didn't have the enough source to. It didn't have enough storage to be like fully used to make the best of it. Which, if it did, it would have been an easy S tier, but very close to an S tier, but an A tier, just due to its being slightly limited due to the technology of its time. Next, we have Grand Theft Auto 1 for the Game Boy Color. I did try this on my Vita again, and I did not have a fun time. I did not have a fun time. So if you don't know, the first two GTA games, including like London, um, they are again top-down view like Advance in Chinatown, but this is for the Game Boy Color, not the one for the PC, or not even the PC, like for the console things, the arcade machines. I think it was. So yeah, on the Game Boy Color, the AI is terrible. There's basically no pedestrians, and very little cars on the street. Which, in my opinion, Grand Theft Auto 1 and Grand Theft Auto 2, because it's the same thing. Basically the same game, just different missions, just a sequel. This is why I have to put them. In all honesty, they do kind of have. Some people would say, like, oh, you have to give them S tier. Like all the first GTA games, because without them, you wouldn't have the other GTA games, but no. They were basing it off of gameplay and story. In my opinion, the Game Boy Color versions lagged behind. Where did GTA? Okay. So this one, GTA 2, is way better than GTA 2 for the Game Boy Color. It's just so much better, and GTA 2. In fact, it has my favorite soundtrack. It has my favorite theme song of all GTA games. And the gameplay still, it's okay. I guess it's not like Grand Theft Auto as you know today. It's very different, but in my opinion, it belongs in the C tier. Next is Grand Theft Auto 3. Oh boy, where do I start off? Grand Theft Auto 3 was revolutionary for its time. And the story is incredible. I love the story. I love Claude as a character. But in general, I love everything about Grand Theft Auto 3, except it has one problem for me that prevents me from putting it S tier. The rampant bugs across this game, in my opinion, it could have just, if it just being optimized better, like if it wasn't like a little bit rushed, if they took their time a bit more, they could have definitely made it an S tier. But with the bugs, it's a very good game. Very good game. Definitely worth playthrough. Next is Grand Theft Auto 5. It also has Grand Theft Auto Online, so yeah, just a story mode on this. In my opinion, the story mode for Grand Theft Auto 5 is a bit lacking. The story is a solid A tier, but in my opinion, with the graphics, the mod capability, and most of the controls, it easily goes to an S tier. Grand Theft Auto 5 story mode, easily an S tier game. Michael, Trevor, and Franklin are also incredible protagonists. So yeah, I feel like it belongs in the S tier. Next, you have Grand Theft Auto 4. In my opinion, there is no other place for Grand Theft Auto 4 than an S tier, just because the graphics still hold up to this day. The story mode is incredible. Niko Bellic is probably my second favorite character in the series. So, yeah, just my opinion, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4, easily an S tier game. The controls for the cars, yes, they're a bit lacking. In my opinion, the game was very heavily designed for controllers, and not for keyboard and mouse. But still, very playable and very moddable, with mods still being made to this day. So Grand Theft Auto 4, easily S tier. Next is Grand Theft Auto 1. I just put it in the GTA 2 category, just because everything that I said about GTA 2 can be said about GTA, just the first Grand Theft Auto. So yeah. Next is Liberty City Stories. This is a game for the PSP. It's originally made, and it's fully 3D, and many people don't know this, but GTA Liberty City Stories is actually a direct prequel to GTA 2. Oh, I sorry, I didn't mention. GTA Advance is like a little trilogy. GTA Advance is the first game in the trilogy, which GTA Advance is a prequel to Liberty City Stories, which is itself a prequel to GTA 3. So, but yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool. But in terms of gameplay, Liberty City has it all. Liberty City Stories has it all, and it's the story. I did find Tony to be a bit of an ass kisser, like the main character, but it did not stop me from appreciating it. In my opinion, Tony is one of my favorite characters, just because he's a total psycho badass, like Trevor. But in my opinion, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories belongs in the A tier. I might put it in the B tier. Later, at the end of the video, I will just like make some fine tuning. But for now, I think Liberty City Stories belongs in the A tier. Next is GTA London, 1961 and 1969, I suppose. And what can I say about GTA London? It is, yeah, I get it is basically Grand Theft Auto 2 and 1 just set in London. It is a mission pack, so yeah, I guess I will also have to put it there. But it is the only GTA game to be set outside of the US, which in my opinion is pretty interesting. Okay, next is Game Boy GTA for the Game Boy Color with GTA 2. And just so you guys know, just because these games are in the D tier, does not mean they're bad. They're still good. But I think that's just these two games for the Game Boy Color. You should just play them on like their actual versions. So if there was an F tier, I would put them in the F tier, because GTA Advance is leagues ahead of these two. But still, no, there is no lower tier. Okay, next, GTA Online. I have a love-hate relationship with this game, GTA Online, because GTA Online is just so purely fun that I really cannot fault it. But in my opinion, Rockstar has been putting way too much money into GTA Online and just like milking that cash cow for all it's worth. So I will put it. Plus, it's very weird with the whole heists thing and the weapons oppressors, all that. I will give it a B tier. Yeah, B tier thing is perfect for GTA Online. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Oh boy. Oh my god, I have so much to say about this game. San Andreas was revolutionary for its time, just like GTA 4 was, and GTA 3 was. San Andreas, most people would say it belongs easily in the S tier, but it never really grew on me. It never grew. CJ is a pussy, an ass kisser. Well, not an ass kisser, but he's just a pussy. He's annoying. All the time when he's on screen, I hate him. But everything else, apart from... The story is good, don't get me wrong. I just think that CJ could have been way better. CJ. So, and in my opinion, nostalgia does play on a lot of people saying San Andreas is the best, which in my opinion it isn't. But San Andreas, in my opinion, has to go in the A tier. But everything else apart from CJ is amazing. So I just have to put it in the S tier. Next is the Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost and Damned for the GTA 4 expansion packs. Now, the Ballad of Gay Tony, Louis, that's how you pronounce his name. Louis, I forgot to how you pronounce his name. Um, he is an annoying asshole that just takes everything as a joke. So in my opinion, it does not go on the same level as GTA 4, the Battle of Gay Tony, but in my opinion, is it better than Chinatown? No. Is it better than 3? No. Is it better than Liberty City Stories? Maybe. That is why I put it at a solid B tier. If there was like a B.5, I'd put it there. But in my opinion, it belongs better in the B tier. The Lost and Damned, however, is amazing. Johnny is a great protagonist, and the whole biker with the Lost MC, I loved it. So I will put the Lost and Damned at a solid A tier for GTA. And in my opinion, I just want to say this: Chinatown Wars should have been released as a GTA 4 expansion pack, like Lost and Damned and Battle of Gay Tony. It should have been. It should have been a part of the episodes from Liberty City. But it's still in the HD universe, I guess. But this is how I've always seen Chinatown Wars, as an expansion of GTA 4. So now we're left with just two. Vice City. Quite possibly one of my favorite games of all time. And with the map and everything, the story, the controls are good too. I have to put in the S tier. Easily. Grand Theft Auto is Vice City is easily an S tier game. Tony Vercetti, an incredible character. Story is incredible too. I actually have it for the phone too. That's how much I was invested in it. Oh my god, I can't believe I bought it for the phone. But, next we have Vice City Stories. Where do I put this? Vice City Stories, in my opinion, has the best, the most human and believable character in all of GTA. In all GTA games, Victor Vance from Vice City Stories is the most believable one. Which, in my opinion, you just have to play GTA Vice City Stories to understand how good it really was. Victor Vance is. So, in my opinion, but GTA Advance, yeah. So, the store, Vic is incredible. The story, it was annoying that I played Vice City first, because I played Vice City Stories. Because I played Vice City first, I knew that Vic gets killed off at the beginning, so I did kind of lose some attachment that could have grown on me. But if I did play Vice City Stories first, Vic Vance probably would have been my top 3 favorite characters. But in terms of story, I think that the story is B tier. But in terms of characters, Vic is one of the best characters. So I have to put him in A. So so that's it. So Okay, so I put Grand Theft Auto 5, 4, San Andreas, and Vice City up on top. I think that's how it should be. I think I'm happy with the S tier. With the A tier, Chinatown, 3, Liberty City, Lost and Damned, and Vice City Stories. I'm kind of happy with how that turned out. I'm kind of happy with it. Yeah. I don't think I really have much to say about the A tier 2. The B tier, maybe. I'm having. Maybe I should put the online, the C tier. Just because it's really just a fanfic, is how I see it. You don't need to play the online to play the story mode and get anything. It's just a fanfiction. So yeah, I'll put online in the C tier. But I will put Grand Theft Auto Advance in the C tier too. Because I just don't think it belongs with the Game Boy Color versions of these. Yeah, I think that's how it's best. I think that's how I like it the most. This tier list. So, yeah. But I'd say my favorite game, period. My top 3 games for Grand Theft Auto. My number 1 most favorite game, surprisingly, is Chinatown Wars. This is my favorite game. With the number 2 spot being taken by GTA 4 and then Vice City. These are my 3 favorite games. Chinatown, GTA 4, GTA Vice City. I am planning on making a video explaining, making another tier maker video for the characters, which I'll probably do after this one, but I'm not sure. So, yeah, okay. This has been 3 Dimensions with my GTA 5 game order tier list. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.